You're entering VTV's Chamber Zone. Your business community at work. Representing the Vernal area and Duchesne County Chambers of Commerce, here's Adam Massey and Irene Hansen.
Fantastic. All right. Hello, I'm Adam Massey with the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and with me today we have Tal Ehlers with Uintah County Emergency Management, and also Michelle Miller, the state liaison. And welcome to Chamber Zone.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Great to have you here with us today. And I know, Michelle, we were talking the other day, September is Emergency Preparedness Month.
That's right.
And so it's great to have you on. Great timing with everything that's going on. Let's talk a little bit about what do we do here in Uintah County with our emergency preparedness, emergency management. Maybe tell us a little bit, give us a little bit of basic information on that, Tal, if you don't mind.
You know, emergency preparedness in the basin is really important. We have a lot going on out here. We have a lot of industry. We have a good-sized population, and we do want people to be as self-sufficient and personally prepared as possible. And when we discuss personal preparedness, we're not talking about burying things in the backyard. We're not talking about going to extremes, but just simple things. Imagine if there was something as simple as a power outage and you weren't able to go to the store. What are the items that you would not want to be without to remain as comfortable as possible until a sense of normalcy returns? And those are the simple things that we want people to have on hand. Food, water, clothing, fuel, enough things to sustain themselves for a short period of time until those vital resources can be reestablished.
Fantastic. And Michelle, let's talk a little bit about, as a state liaison, what do you do? What's your, I guess, your function in working with local Uintah County here?
We coordinate local and federal and state resources, so if they go beyond their capabilities, then that's where I step in and we help coordinate state resources for those responses.
Okay, fantastic. Well, and we recently, I should say last year, had an incident here, and so I think it brings home to light a lot of times the preparedness. I know you've spoke at our chamber luncheon before about being prepared with Ready Your Business. Maybe you can take just a minute and talk a little bit about that if you'd like to, and how that works. So I know it's one of the programs you have here at Uintah County, and maybe just touch on that a little bit if you don't mind.
You know, with Ready Your Business, that is such a critical item that we have, and if people are interested in learning more about Ready Your Business, we have literature available through the Office of Emergency Management here in Vernal that we can go ahead and help people. But imagine if you have a business, something out of the ordinary happens, and it may happen locally. What if there was a blizzard that shut down the highway? What if there was a hazmat spill or a wildfire? And then also imagine across the country, let's say that you're a business that depends on manufacturing from across this nation, and so a disaster occurs in somewhere Georgia, but that affects your distribution, that affects your manufacturing. How are you going to continue on with your business? What remedies do you have already in place to be able to continue running your business, managing your business in the event that something out of the ordinary should happen? So we have literature, and we have a program, the Ready Your Business program through the State of Utah Division of Emergency Management, to be able to teach and train business owners on how to become more personally prepared so their business does not have a hiccup should there be an incident or a disaster somewhere across the United States that would otherwise affect their business.
And I know you've came and talked at one of our chamber luncheons about that, and I know that was one of the things, the first thing I thought that brought up, you know, a lot of your computer information. I just put it back on chamber. You know, if we lost our membership and didn't know who we had as members or who had paid and who hadn't paid, just different things like that, it makes it awfully, that would be really tough, and magnify that 100 times when you're trying to run a business and you lose all different accounts and different information that you need. It's always important to have backups, and I think a lot of times we don't think about that until we see something that hits close to home, as happened recently, and then everybody's scrambling to get ready for it too. So and it can happen to, you know, it doesn't have to be huge businesses, small businesses that are affected. So yeah, it can be pretty tragic for somebody trying to continue their business. Let's see. You know, you have different departments. What are some other things that you offer there, Tal, through our local emergency management? Are there other things that you offer besides what we've talked a little bit about here?
You know, the important thing that we have here also are the people. Life safety is the most important during any disaster, and so here also in Uintah County we have programs to help individuals become more personally prepared. Not only are we doing things through the county, there's also faith-based organizations. There's information available also through the state of Utah in regards to personal emergency preparedness, where people themselves can become more prepared. There are volunteer programs that are available where people can receive free training in the basin regarding personal emergency preparedness. Even something as simple as CPR classes or first aid classes, simple search and rescue or light fire suppression, and these things are all available here in the basin to be able to help families to become as personally prepared as possible, so that should something out of the ordinary happen, they can remain calm, they can remain safe, as I said before, until a sense of normalcy returns.
Well, and I would like to compliment you. You've done a fantastic job with local things that happened, you know, this past year, and it was great to have somebody in that position that stood up and took charge, and I want to compliment you on a wonderful job that you did. Hey, if we need to get a hold of you, where can we get a hold of you, both of you?
Please contact my office. My local phone number is 435-781-5466, or people can visit the Uintah County website, and on departments, just scroll down to emergency management. You can contact me via email.
Fantastic.
And our state also has, the state has a website that we have this information. You can go to FEMA.gov or to dem.utah.gov and anybody can get the information off our website as well. And you can contact me that way too. We have a Division of Emergency Management website that talks about all the programs we have. We deal with, you know, the flood management program, the storm ready program, those kinds of things, you know, the weather service. As a state agency, we coordinate, like I said, with all federal, state, and local agencies.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. We'll be right back to talk more about emergency preparedness, emergency management with your local chamber, and we'll be right back right after this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Chamber Zone, your business community at work. And again, we have Michelle Miller here, the state liaison for emergency management, and this time we have a different guest. We have Tammy Twitchell here from Daggett County, and you're the emergency management manager. Make sure I get that right. Well, welcome.
Manager.
Glad to have you here with us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and stopping by. And also, Michelle, we have in other counties in our area here, you know, emergency management and preparedness. Maybe let's talk about what's going on up in Daggett County and maybe what's going on in some Duchesne County and some of the other counties we have here.
Daggett County is actually, we're going to have our preparedness fair as part of our Daggett Days over Labor Day. And then we actually work trying to prepare our businesses and our citizens to be prepared not just for themselves, but maybe for the tourists and stuff like that that are out of their realm. And so those preparedness kits and that sometimes are not just for them, but they have come in handy a lot of times with people that they meet on the road or something that is having a bad time. So
yeah, exactly. And you think about that because each county is going to have specific things that are probably, they're going to have a lot of similarities, obviously, but they're going to have, you know, like you mentioned, tourism. When you think about Daggett County, you think about tourism, and obviously, so that's, you know, there's different things in each county, and maybe touch on that a little bit, Michelle.
They do. Each county has their specifics, you know, of hazards or emergencies that they deal with in the common area, though. But, you know, Duchesne County also, Mike Leffler is the Duchesne County Emergency Manager and Fire Marshal for Duchesne. And they do a lot of preparedness, you know, where they have the industry, the oil industry and that. So hazmat's a huge, huge concern for them. He's done a lot of mitigation for flooding. Those kind of things. And the Ute tribe as well, you know, their preparedness, they've worked on plans. They've got their mitigation and EOP ready for adoption, which the counties do as well. So there's a coordination effort between, you know, as the region, they coordinate those plans regionally, and then they have their individual plans, which helps them put out the information for the counties, the residents, to be prepared. You know, whether that be debris flow management, you know, volunteer and donation management. And as a state, we provide that training on those programs to them for the emergency managers and the communities. So we have a lot of information and training that's available through the state, as well as, like I said before, we do coordinate federally, state, and local resources. But each emergency manager, each county, I say, has their emergency manager, and some of the cities do as well.
So if anybody would like to do that training or that preparedness or put a class together, whether it's through the chamber or whether it's an individual business that just wants to contact, you know, they should get a hold of their local emergency management
That's
in
correct,
their
yes.
county.
Yep.
And then if they need to bring in state resources, they can get a hold of you as the liaison
That's
to
correct.
come in and bring in all those resources. So
Right, and the tribe has an emergency management office as well, and Eldora Parank is the emergency manager for the tribe, and she's done a great job, you know, bringing them full circle to come and help them with their preparedness. So.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And as you look at each individual county, on a state level, does the state say, just kind of like you mentioned with industry, I think of Uena County and Duchesne County, and we do have a lot of industry, and some of those, you know, are quite a ways out. So, you know, I guess out of the town or out of, you know, maybe it takes time to get to those areas. Does the state recognize that, and do they see, I guess that's part of the training is being able to get out to those and get the resources there?
They do. The state's role is to let, you know, every incident or event happens locally, so it's a local jurisdiction that has control over that event until, like I mentioned before, they're beyond their resources or capabilities, and then the state steps in to help that. So we help coordinate those efforts of whatever resources they may need.
Well, and to add to what Michelle's saying, every one of us lack a little bit of something.
Sure.
And by having a region and having our individual resources, we're the first ones that are going to help. And it really makes a big difference. Even our individual citizens are going to be the first ones to actually come upon things because of our remoteness. And so it really helps to get everybody trained and to be able to handle those emergencies without calling on the Wasatch Front.
Sure. Well, and it is, we're a little bit isolated out here, so obviously we do need to be able to take care of ourselves as much as we can. And we sure appreciate people like yourself and Tal and Michelle for what you're doing and coming on the program and allowing us to get the information out there. So that's fantastic. Well, that's going to be it for this program. Again, thank you. We appreciate our guests coming in here today. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6 for Chamber Zone, and my co-host Irene Hansen will be back next time. And again, thank you for watching.